into my world.
And here we are in round 1 of my third Theros draft. That hand isn't perfect, it's not really the kind of curve I envision to lay out, but it's okay. Especially since I'm on the play, so my 3-drop won't come that late. And I cannot hope for a better hand. I mean, I can hope, but it's unlikely I get one. I'll just keep that. So my opponent, there's a plains, meaning that I must expect a rather fast start. Then comes an island and no turn 2 play, so maybe he's not that fast. And I actually get to put the first creature on the board, which is always nice. And here it comes, my Bane, the Baneslayer Angel, Wingsteed Rider, always waiting for hopeful Eidolon to be bestowed on it. I offer the trade, he doesn't take it, I'm not surprised. And I just hope I'm not getting rest again, although this time I have stuff in my deck which can actually stop the rider. Well, not all my opponents are as fortunate as the one who beat me in the first round of my first draft. But then 100-handed one is tough to deal with. So what now? All I can do is get in for 3 with the agent. I mean, I could have tried to get in with the Hedonist, have it die, and then play the Nemesis a turn earlier. Not sure that's a great play. I think I need the Hedonist to jump block later. But then Ordeal of Thassa on Wingsteed Rider, that's bad. That's really bad. So I'm under pressure, and my opponent is threatening to draw cards. That's really good. Resting him is still possible, but unlikely. Now how do I go about that? Making the agent unblockable is way too expensive. So instead I suit it up with Leafcon Dryad, meaning that it can attack, unless my opponent has Battlewise Valor or something like that. The 100-handed one cannot stop it. So I'm still in the race. The Hedonist waiting to jump. Well, it might have been better to play the Nemesis the turn before if my opponent killed my Hedonist. But you know, that's hindsight. And I'm getting trounced here. Now the Hedonist is blocking again. I'm on 6 life. And there's some hope. There's a Shipbreaker Kraken, and on my next turn I will actually get to use it because I will have 8 lands. That's the plan. So I keep back the agent to block the rider, even though it will be a jump block. But I can jump that rider twice if need be. But then here comes Echo's Form. And suddenly I'm just dead. As happens so often in this format. You know, it's a funny thing. I seem to play against the drafter to my left quite often because I always see those very cards I did not take. There's the Ordeal, there's the Echo's Form. Or probably that player also has the Voyage's End, which I did not take. No way to win this. Let's get to sideboarding. Shipbreaker Kraken. Well, one more turn. Wasn't to be, and still you might have had God's Willing or something to still win. What am I gonna do? Artisan Sorrow seems like a great idea. Because the Wingsteed Rider will likely come with bestowed creatures, and I saw 2 auras I will want to get rid of. I don't think I need Trading Winds. That's a good start. I have a 2-drop this time, there's a grip tide, and I'm on the play. So this time I might actually be fast enough. I didn't see that much from opponent's deck first game, but it didn't seem excessively fast. And there's a Sealog monster which might later actually get to attack as a 5/5 for 5. How far have we come with limited environments when the 5/5 for 5 isn't even that impressive anymore? I'm lucky to hit on my lands. The Dryad goes in again, bringing him already back to 16. Now I'm thinking, no, I have no 4-drop. I thought there was a Coastline Chimera's in there some place, but there wasn't. So thinking again, and deciding to bestow Dryad on Dryad, however that works. No, this looks good. No bounce, no grip tide, no divine verdict. My opponent is in trouble. I have a 4/4 creature on the board and have 2 grip tides in my hand. And he plays something which actually helps a bit. Well, I could still grip tide it. He would discard a card, it would be tapped, and I would get in for 4. I might even be able to do that a second time, but then he would still be at 4. At this point I don't think he's going to attack, even though Squire 3 does quite a lot. But I think he needs a blocker, so... I'm not sure if I would have blocked in his situation. I could have any number of tricks, Savage Search, Feline Invocation. So that's why I'm attacking. But he bites the bullet. So all I do is lose a blocker for a Sphinx, which isn't optimal. However, I just throw down a 5/5, and with 2 grip tides in hand, that's still a lot of pressure. Now what's he going to do? Halcyon Horse is quite nice, making sure that I will not be able to punch through on the ground. And then he actually gets to attack, looking for solutions by scrying, and if the game goes long enough, by drawing extra cards. Still, that's 4 damage guaranteed for me, and well, I still have that grip tide. And in that situation, of course, I'm not above grip tiding that token. It's a pity I don't have a land more to play out Vaporkin in addition. Voyage's End would have been much better here. But then again, I cannot complain. He goes down to 3. If he attacks with the Sphinx again, he still needs to deal with the Dryad. I still have a grip tide. And if he does not attack with the Sphinx, then I can play out more good threats and will overwhelm his defenses. But the Coastline Chimera seems helpful. He attacks again. I'm already at 11 now. Still, he needs something else in his hand. He's quiet, but he didn't draw a card yet. And I still have that grip tide. So let's just see what happens. I'm not dead next turn. even if he gets to attack with the Sphinx again. But at first he needs something to keep my Dryad from going in for lethal, and this is not happening. So, Shredding Winds looks like it belongs in the deck, even though his best flyer has Hexproof. Fate Antiquity over Ardent and Sorrow. Well, I think 1 mana less is more important than Squire here. That's why I take it out. Oh, that's why I make the switch. I'm not thinking about Gainsay here. I'm just too busy tapping out. And Shipbreaker Kraken is just too slow. So I'm sideboarding out Shipbreaker Kraken. That should tell me that my first pick, taking the Kraken over Voyage's End, wasn't optimal. Once again, I seem to have a great curve. Second turn Vaporkin. That's not doing anything at the moment. So let's get in for some damage here. Third turn Agent of Horizons, he's already under pressure. Griptide and Shredding Winds as backups. More creatures to come. This looks good. Now this smells a bit like Griptide or Divine Verdict, but nothing to do then attack into it. So here comes Divine Verdict on the agent. I can live with that. I still get in for 2 with my Vaporkin. And I still get to play another Vaporkin. That's just a great card. So now the Sphinx would be bad for me, since it has Hexproof. I can Shredding Winds it once and Griptide it again. But what happens is the Ordeal, which is a good card, but in his situation, it's not helping him that much. He is unlikely to race me. It will take some time to get those cards. So what I'm doing is just get in for 4 again, or for the first time, and play the biggest threat I have. And by the way, stop the Unicorn from attacking, just in case it matters. I wouldn't actually block in this situation, but then again, he's unlikely to attack. Because even if he has the trick, it's better for him to use it on defense. So something big, the Emissary. Well, he thinks he really needs to draw cards. But I'm at 18, and he's near dead, and I have a Griptide in hand. So why should I block? I just get in for 9. He can hit me for 7 on the next turn. If he gets around a blocker. I could Griptide now, by the way. But I just go for more pressure. I don't want him to get back into the game if he draws something with a Theros Emissary. Okay, I could have tried to Griptide him out the upkeep, but then there's stuff like God's Willing. It's hard for me to lose this game, and I try not to. There's not much he can do. He's going through his options. No idea what he has in hand. He needs to stop both flyers and an additional creature. And then there's my Grip Tide and my Shredding Winds. So I don't see a way to lose on this turn. Even 2 Battle-Wise Valor wouldn't be enough. So I'm just not blocking. He has to deal with 4 creatures now. Not even Sea God's Revenge is going to do that. Okay, Sea God's Revenge would help, because Vapor King only comes in for 2. But I'm still not losing then. And he's not winning. That was round 2. No.
Isn't it awfully nice to have a penis?